You go back.
Oh yeah,
We
that's what we were
it's like the
doing. Do we see
retcon
right
the thing where we go
before we
back
went
and
to
yeah.
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
So are the front doors still intact?
They're still in.
Okay, so let's go up to this back entrance, and I want to cast Detect Magic while we're going through there in case there's any more traps or the dragon left anything, and start going through there.
Yes, and once we get into the tunnel, let me see. Um, I have actually prepared for this leg of the journey. I did prepare two or three things, which was sanctuary. Oh no, sorry, sending. So when we got close, I would have tried to send to Harshnag if he was conscious to see if he could reply. And I would have asked, Harshnag, are you alive? Where are you? And that would have been my sending once we got to that cave. So, do we get any response back from the sending?
God, I hate sending. How many days after is what is the timeline exactly?
We took
It would have
one day.
been. I think you said it took a day and a half to get to the place, so a day and a half back. So we're 3 days after the dragon
Yeah.
attack.
No reply.
No reply.
No reply? Okay, and then I cast Locate Creature to try to locate Harshnag. It helps that it took a day because I can at least prepare stuff.
Yep.
I have to open the map. Uh, no. First, you will notice that the area beyond the spider caves are is has been caved in. Has caved in.
Alrighty.
How badly caved in? Is it like nothing could get through it?
Yep, it's like the area beyond the corridors that was caved in. Yeah.
Alrighty. But do we notice anything from Locate Creature?
Check your range. Right?
I'm just looking up now since I wasn't able to. Concentration for 1 hour within 1,000 feet. It's only if I only can't locate
None.
if I only can't locate if there's running water. So I don't think there was any running water. So within 1,000 feet, absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't think Harshnag is here, guys.
Even dead?
I don't know. It doesn't specify that the creature has to be alive. Because I would have named or described Harshnag and would have sensed the location of the creature up to 1,000 feet away. And yeah.
So you think that he somehow got out?
Got out, or the dragon took him, or he might be somewhere else. He might have gone through the portal. I don't know. Damn it. Banel, do you have like stone shape or what was it? Meld stone by any chance? Like to get through stone?
Unfortunately not. I'm currently looking if there's a creature with a high walk speed.
It is so difficult to find whatever map it was when they're all just named unidentified map.
There, I have renamed it.
The base shapes I'm seeing right now are panther, black and brown bear.
Panther's like tiger, it gets a pounce. Direwolf isn't bad either.
I think so.
Although direwolves only get one attack, I think. And I'm still trying to log in. Sorry, guys.
It's all good, man.
No worries.
Yep, it has bounce.
So what's happening?
And worst case scenario, if we aren't able to locate Harshnag, I would cast Divination when we are on the ship, or like within the next 24 hours, and be like, "Where is Harshnag?" to Timora. Is he alive?
Okay, so I'll ask you to write me some letter. Write a letter explaining to Harshnag what's happening. Just a short, like something quite short.
What's happening with us, or what's happening with what?
What we're trying to convey to him.
Oh, where is he? Is he still alive? Like, we're trying to get to him. That's it.
Because I'll shape change and try to get to him, and I won't be able to speak. So I'll just keep the
Oh.
message on my neck and give it to him.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I'll
You
do
know,
that.
like when you pen a note to a little kid.
Yes.
Well, what are you shape changing to?
A panther, a black or brown bear.
Or did you want to do like spider?
Well, that's what I was asking earlier, if it looked like anything, because I can polymorph too, but because I was
And
going
you
to
did-
try to just turn into like, something tiny so I could sneak through the rubble, but it sounded like he said that wasn't possible.
A spider would find cracks and stuff.
Badger or
Wouldn't,
something.
like something that small work?
There's also a cat. That's also a possibility.
Like, are there tiny gaps in the stones, Nate? Or like, like little cracks and crevices? Because it's like a cave-in.
There probably would. I'm not sure if it's enough to navigate through.
Because as a spider, I think like Rular would still have Devil Sight, so you might still be able to see somewhat to navigate, or not. I'm not sure.
Well, spiders have 30 dark
Blind
vision
sight.
anyway.
You'd be able to see in darkness, but you wouldn't be able to see through stones.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you're
Could they
able
attempt to do
find-
so? Like, can they cast
Yeah.
and then attempt?
Okay, yeah. Let's say there's enough. They can manage to find your way. Hello.
I was just looking to see if there's any other beast that might make sense for me. Give me
Yeah.
just a second.
Yeah, my final choices are a black bear and a cat.
Well, I don't think a black bear is going to fit anything we wouldn't be able to fit.
Yeah, you'd have to start excavating.
Climb
It would
speed.
take hours.
It has a climb speed though.
Yeah, no, but there are no gaps, right? That was the problem. Like it's a
Okay.
cave in.
Yeah,
If a black bear
yeah, I
could fit,
mean,
we would fit.
right. We could just fly and go in there.
I think cat would be your best option then, because it is tiny and it does have climbing. So for that would definitely work. And like the spider has the dark vision on blind sight, which would help with the lack of any line of sight.
Yeah, I was going with spider was my gut reaction just because it's a regular house spider. It would be literally
Yeah.
absolutely tiny. The other thing I would kind of like if it would fit, I think a sturge would work pretty well because it's also tiny,
Oh yes.
but it's not as tiny as like a frog or a lizard or a spider.
Though it's for a sturge it can fly. Does it have any dark vision?
It has 60 dark vision.
Oh, that'd be amazing. It's a beast. I'm looking only at Appendix D in the player's handbook. I don't have the monster manual, so that sounds really cool. And like cat could follow whichever one you go with. So that way both of y'all could get in and could have each other's backs if you
Right,
want.
because a sturge is basically a big mosquito almost.
Yep.
Yeah. That's actually perfect, yeah.
And that way, if it is something that I need to fly over, if for whatever reason I can't, climb, then. So,
Yeah.
that is what. Now, I will, before I go, I will warn you that if I get caught up in here, it might be a day before I get back because I can only do this once a day, but I will try to be done within an hour.
Do you still have Awakened Mind
We'll try
as
to
your
be here.
polymorph?
I do, but I have to see you to do that. So if, like I said, if something breaks my concentration while I'm in here, I might be stuck in here for a day.
Okay.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, wait 5 more minutes.
We'll wait an hour, and if anything goes wrong, I'm hoping Cat Bannerl can come back and tell us what went wrong.
Okay,
He
so
probably ate the mosquito.
Mosquito and Banner. I guess what I would want to do is go check the last place I saw Harshnag and start working my way that way.
Mm-hmm.
What's this about the cat?
What was that?
What was that?
What was that about the cat?
I think Bannerl is turning into like a regular house cat sized animal, and I was turning into the mosquito, and we were both going to see if we
The
could get
cat isn't
there.
going to fit.
You broke up a lot. I couldn't hear that.
I think the cat can't fit.
Okay.
I can
about
turn her
you,
into a,
Liz?
I can turn into a sturge too.
Yep.
That will work.
All right, so 2 mosquitoes flying into the temple.
Nothing to see here. Just urges making their way around town, walking fast.
Yeah, it takes a while, but you will. Yeah, so you notice that the whole place has been caved in.
Are we able to make it to where we had saw what's his face? Harshnag, like down by the doors.
I suppose you can.
When you said
Is
that, you
down.
mean like the entire temple is just rubbish?
Yep.
Okay. So even down here where he was is rubbish as well.
There would probably be less. There'd be less rubble there. some rubble there.
Well, I suppose, let's go. I'm gonna try to make my way to the portal and see if I can see anything that makes sense
I'm
there.
assuming you went through the spider tunnels. Hello, am I breaking up again? Hello, hello.
Yes?
I heard something about spider tunnels, but I didn't hear everything.
Yeah, I assumed you went through the spider tunnels.
Correct.
So you would have actually had to pass through the main hall to go back to the yeah, where you last saw Harshnag.
Correct. I also, when I'm near Harshnag, I want to see if I could at least still see those mechanisms or whatnot.
So you'll see that mechanisms were broken off.
Okay, so let's go. I want to just do a good look around the portal room to see if I can see if he's still there anywhere.
I'm wondering if the portal is
Because
active.
typically
Like,
here, this is the place with a lot of that's mostly caved in.
Okay.
is the portal active or is it down as well?
You will see that they're still glowing.
Wow.
Hola.
Hola!
Howdy.
I literally just walked in the door
Wait, which door? What door?
of my apartment.
Oh, I love that. It's like, get through the door, open PC.
I guess I will check just in case the southern area as well, just to make sure he didn't get there.
So what's going on?
We went back to the temple and the, what you call it, it looks like it's all collapsed.
The entire temple?
Yes.
So what about the south area?
I was just going to see how bad the collapse was down there.
How did we get back to the temple airship?
There's less rubble here. There's more pockets of space.
Okay, I guess the last thing is we could try to go through the portal. He said it was still glowing.
I think you would remember that my locate creature and my sending didn't work within like 1,000 feet. So something is definitely weird. The sending should have worked if he was anywhere,
Well, we
like,
don't know where the portal sends you.
yeah, that
That's
is
right.
true.
Like, I know on the map it's right there, but that could be in another dimension as far as we know.
No, that's why I'm like, the sending would have worked if it was anywhere in Faerun. So the fact that it didn't work might be a sign that, yeah, he's through the portal.
So, is the portal actually active so I can go through it, or is it just still kind of glowy?
No, the runes are glowing, but the portal is not active.
Okay.
We'd need one of the weapons, wouldn't we?
Can I see any of the weapons, or are they all completely buried?
They are buried, but you can probably get to a pocket enough to see it.
Okay, so, I will tell Bannerl, since he's here with me, that if he's really interested, I can tomorrow turn into a giant ape. Like, how much space is there above the rubble in here? Because, I mean, if the ceiling collapsed, where there was ceiling, there would be a hole.
No, there's no space above. You see, going through the cracks, the spaces between the rubble.
Okay. Well, unless you have another idea, Barrel, it looks like the best we could do is just try to get some people to start excavating. But it'll be a long time.
Let me see if I have a look at creature.
I already cast it and wasn't able to find anything.
Oh, then if that doesn't work, I can't foresee how I could do something.
The only
better.
thing would be like if y'all could fit in there as regular people, y'all could stone shape to get to the weapon. Otherwise, we need somebody to cast like levitate to get that weapon out.
Right, but he was saying that basically it's like there's no place to fit a regular person in here.
Well, yeah.
So apparently wherever this is built into a mountain or whatever, and the entire mountain kind of collapsed down.
Banal, if you give him a day, he can stone shape.
Yeah, would be happy with that, and I could divinate to Daimora to see whether Harshanag might be on the other side of the portal. So we have some kind of clue.
The only thing is, even if we do that, we don't really have a method of moving the weapon to a rune.
What do you mean?
You could, like, if Bannerol was actually holding the object and then he wild shaped, it could, morph into him. But there's not a way to actually get it over there that I can think of to tap the thing to activate the portal.
That is true.
Well, if he can stone shape, then he could make a cavern big enough for people, and then I could pick it up.
Now, stone
And-
shape only does like 5 feet or something. It's very minimal amount of stone shape.
Yep.
Oh,
And do we even know that any of the weapons work in anyone else's hands?
if we don't,
Ah.
it
Yeah.
might
I
only
mean,
work for giants.
We specifically had Harshnag do it.
Yeah.
But I think that was just because it was so big. He was the only one that made sense.
Hmm. You know what? We might have to figure out if we can find a resurrection or something. If Harshnag is dead somewhere else.
I don't want to be a bummer, but we're kind of at war, and people die.
So I'm thinking, yeah, I agree with the whole excavation idea. We'll need to see if we can get some people to perhaps excavate it so we can get to the oracle in some way later on, even if it's sometime down the road.
Well, weren't you the one who told me about the greater good and that a few people get sacrificed for?
I agree about the
Of course.
greater good, but if it's somebody in my party, my friends, If you were to die, Rivalor, I would try my best to bring you back. You're not just one of the little people in the face of like the world ending. You're a friend.
Wow. Wow.
That's the difference here.
He just kind of flinches because it's like, oh Lord, have mercy. That's a horrifying statement. It's like, thank you. I'm glad we're friends. OOC, sorry about that. This was my tabletop game day. It was a lot earlier this month, and I just found out about it like 2 days ago, and I forgot to mention it to you guys. So hopefully I didn't miss too much.
We just started. We had some connection issues all around. So yeah.
Yeah, we know, Fritz.
We have an oil of etherealness too. If you wanted to get someone stronger in there, ethereally you could get through the passageway.
But again,
Yeah.
like we couldn't get
Not enough room to stand up.
No, we wouldn't
But-
be able to get the thing up. Like we wouldn't be able to get the weapon.
Right, you wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm sure
I might be
we
able to
can
pick it
definitely
up.
get in. We can definitely get in, but being back in regular shape or a bigger size to lift said object is the problem.
Yeah.
This is
I might be
fully
able to
out
pick
of
it up, but I need a room to move.
Right. Because
Fully
if we had
out of
room
character.
in there. Yeah, go ahead.
Out of
that was
character?
the end of chapter 4.
What was that?
Fully out of character, that was the end of chapter 4, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, is it? Yep. Okay.
That was the end of chapter 4. It was a few days ago.
So I'm guessing maybe we should look into perhaps getting people to perhaps excavate the area out then. In the long term, maybe not now. Like we might not have people who can do it right now, but maybe down the road a few months, if people are able to, like are willing to be hired on, we could hire them to like excavate a narrow passage through.
But then we'd have to have a true resurrection to resurrect him in a few months.
I know.
That's-
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, so we weren't able to find them at any rate. And
Yeah.
like
So
I
this
said,
is something
when we
long
get to a
term.
town,
Yeah.
Lord like blesses the sight of the thing. So I'm trying to figure out if the dragon just destroyed the cave because he couldn't get to the portal, or destroyed the cave trying to get out, being trapped in.
I will divinate and I will check with
don't think
Tamora
we
about that.
found, any body in there. Now, it could have just been buried under rubble, but I imagine, even if it was buried under rubble, it might have an axe or arm or blood smatter or something we could have found.
No, the thing is that with locate creature, I would have found him even if he was a body, and with sending, he would have responded if he was anywhere in Faerun. So the fact that neither of those work seems to indicate he might be through a portal. Maybe he's very far away right now, and the sending will work after a few days, and I'll get a response then. But right now, all signs seem to indicate he's through that portal. I don't know.
Yeah, and if he's in the portal room, I hate to say this, but I don't remember there being any food or supplies in there.
Yeah. So, yep. Right now I am at 5th level spells. But yes, we would need to do like a resurrection, which is 7th level spells.
You have to come back a lot later.
Yeah.
A whole lot later. And it'd still be as expensive as fuck.
Okay, so
Alright.
either we need a scroll or I need to hit 13th level. Okay.
Well, I think they said spellcasting services include resurrection now.
Oh, how much is it?
50,000.
Okay.
Is it? Yeah, that'd
Something
be
like that.
Yeah, it'd be faster for me to get to level 13.
Basically, you'd have to be super rich and like high level as fuck to do it. Even if you're an acolyte who gets reduced cost services.
Let's see. So yeah, I mean, like we'll head back on our quest since we cannot really do much of anything, I guess. And then I will divinate to Timora and ask her if Harshnag is through the portal on the other side, like where Harshnag is and is he alive. So that would be my divination when we're on the ship to the east, going towards that emergency. We do not know what it is about. So
Speaking of
Resurrection is 3,000 gold. True resurrection, if you can't even find a body, is 50,000.
wait, then that's simple. Oh, okay. So yeah, we can definitely do resurrection then. Yeah. So when I
okay.
do divination on the way to the east, for that emergency thing we've been called on, what does Timora say?
He is alive.
Timora says,
Yeah,
"Hooray."
where is he through the portal? I mean, I ask where is he? Is he through the portal? Is he alive? So yeah, or a single question. My bad. So I asked. The first question
no, he's
was where
alive.
is he?
Yeah.
Well, he most likely will die if he's somewhere trapped. So that's why my first thing was like, where is he?
Timora answers that Nate hates divination.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I do divination again, and I ask Timora, where is Harshnag?
Your giant is in another castle.
He's
Yes.
in Waterdeep.
He's
Wait,
in
what?
the
Okay.
castle. Awesome.
He's in Waterdeep? Okay. Harshnag is in
That's cool.
Waterdeep! I start yelling!
It's like, well, we'll deal with that later. If he's alive and in the Waterdeep, then he's fine. But we've got other things to deal with. OOC, how did your thing go
What thing?
yesterday?
Oh, it went well. It went well. Not
Did you
much
get the
RP,
armor?
but then no, I don't need the armor. Why?
Oh, I was just wondering.
I can't wear heavy armor.
Oh, that's
but
your other two.
yeah. What was it? No, even my other character can't wear heavy armor. But it was fun. We wall of fired and spiritual guardians, and it was simple. The owl bearers were the hardest thing in the whole scenario.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
So, yeah.
there was a little tiny avalanche in ours.
Yeah, we had an avalanche. We had it was fun. We had remoras. It was exciting, but also But yes.
Apparently, hill giants don't, or frost giants don't like us anymore because we caused an avalanche. But
Yeah.
Yep.
turns out frost giants don't like us already, so that's not huge.
Yeah, I was
Harshnag
so
was the only
upset about
one.
that.
Yeah. It's like, oh well.
Oh,
Well,
if I
you can
hadn't
talk
have
to
done
frost
that, all
giants
the
because they don't-
frost giants
See, the
Would've
good thing
been
is that
PG.
if we need to talk to frost giants now, I can talk to them as Lena because I do not have that.
Yeah, exactly. She can talk to him for us.
But y'all have advantage on anyone against them.
Also, if I can get a copy of that, because I didn't get all of that junk written down. I thought we were going to get an email or something.
It's in
Oh,
Discord.
I got an
Okay.
email. Oh yeah, it is in chat. Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah,
it
I
in chat.
copied it straight off of the chat. In Discord. SKT
Oh.
Monther Sap.
Okay, there it is.
Harshnag was a frost giant, right? Maybe he doesn't want to talk to us. He's mad.
Well,
that's
technically,
probably it.
we would just have disadvantage to charisma checks with him from here on out. So
Except for
Right.
Lena.
Yes, it's good to have one party who did not do this because that way we have the best of both worlds.
You
I'm not talking
abandoned
to him
us.
anyway.
The what?
I was joking. I said you abandoned us.
Oh, I heard that. No, I heard someone else also say something at the same time.
Oh, I said Ruelar's unlikely to talk to anybody anyway.
Mhm.
So yes, we
All right,
now
so
head to
we're going after the
Sensory.
frost giant situation. Is that right?
Oh,
Or
I
the
thought
cloud
Cloud.
giant? Cloud.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
we're going to clouds.
Yeah, we never found out any information on Frost Giants, so we're kind of screwed that way. We must do Cloud now. This did kind of
Gotcha.
force our hand.
Yes.
We had Frost, didn't we? Frost and Cloud? Or was it
Yeah,
Fire
but
and
we
Cloud?
didn't ask them any questions about
Oh,
Frost. I
or
think we were going to come back and ask.
Ah.
No,
But now
we
we
were
don't
going to
have
use
any
your
info.
divination. We were going to use your divination and the stone.
It's
Remember?
alright.
If it,
Let's
I
take
only
care
can
of the
ask
cloud
one
giant.
question.
Yeah, a day.
Yeah.
So we can still. It's still going to be a few days before we go for the frost giants. So we can still find out some stuff,
Yeah.
and we
Not
still
that
have the
much though.
divination stone.
But we don't want her
Okay.
using that spell every day.
Why not? Would she go crazy?
No, but
Because
Nate
it's
might.
like.
Oh, true. Anyway, we're on our way to the cloud
yeah,
giants, and
yeah,
then we'll
we
think
can.
about the frost giants afterwards.
Right. So we park our airship to take our hippogriffs up to the frost giant place.
Yes.
I like how you call it our airship.
Well, there are
Your
no
airship?
cultists on it.
It's true. There's no cultists on it at the exact moment.
Yeah, I know.
Why
I was the one
not?
who suggested that.
What happened to the cultists?
We left them when we went to check out
Emergency.
right.
Oh.
Remember,
Right.
I said we were about to go do an emergency, and we didn't know what it was. It might be safer for them to stay behind, and they said okay.
Okay.
So to Sensory on our beautiful hippogriffs.
Fly, my Hawkman, fly!
I'm just sad because I can't take my Tressum with me now because, it could hang out on the airship, but I don't really think it needs to be riding on the back of the hippogriff.
But it can sense invisible creatures, and cloud giants can, I think, cast invisibility.
I don't want my Tressum
Find a way to
squished
bring your
by a
vanity
cloud
back.
giant.
That
Yeah,
is
I
true.
think he's safer at the Airy. We'll get him back eventually.
Bye bye, Nithera. Bye bye. Do we know
Oh,
where the
that's
cloud
pretty.
castle is?
Ooh,
pretty.
pretty. Well, obviously we do because we can see it.
Oh, okay, good. Never mind. I can't see anything yet, so hopefully.
Yeah. I hate to
So
say
yeah,
this, but we
as you
abused
were
that.
going towards Hawk's Nest, you actually detect that it's sort of, even though you were going to Hawk's Nest instead of directly to the Cloud Giant Castle, it was in the same direction, more or less in the same
Cool,
direction.
cool.
It's actually in the middle of the what's it called, the moors.
The troll moors?
Moor, yes.
Got it. Alright.
So is it?
I
So
don't
is
know
it
if any
farther
of y'all
behind the
watch.
Airy, or is it before we get to the Airy?
I don't know if any of y'all watch Acquisitions Inc.
Yes, I've seen it, and I've seen this castle.
Right. It looks a little. I mean, it's a little bit different layout, but
No,
it's
you
just the
Yes.
do have
chess
that.
set's really. Yeah, yeah. It's a different layout than the Acquisitions Inc. because that one had more separate locations, basically.
Yeah,
But
it had
it's
more
just the
towers and
chess
shit like that.
is very odd, unless that's just something that cloud giants really like. So it's on a lot of cloud castles.
Oh, you know.
And also
It's
the
just
little
in
dome with
style.
the trees inside was also in Acquisitions. Nobody's gonna break that.
Well, they had access to the art, guys.
Well, they kind of did because they made it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had access to the art, so.
All right, so are we on our airship or our hippogriffs?
We're taking the airship back to get the
Yes, sir,
hippogriffs.
hippogriffs.
Right, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. You just said we ran into this on the way, basically. All right, where do you guys want to land?
Well, since it'll be easier to land.
Yeah, you'll see it from a distance. So yeah, I was asking how you are going to approach.
Do
My
we see
suggestion is
anything
we
moving?
go in hot, like get about 1,000 feet over the thing, turn my rock into a boulder, and just drop it all the way through their castle.
No, because we're supposed to
or we
take her
could do it.
alive.
We could do it diplomatically too. That's another option.
I don't think we want to aggro the whole castle.
Well, yeah, I think he was joking. He better have been joking. or Bernal has been a bad influence on him and he's become a murder hobo.
Yeah, let's go try to be diplomatic. Because that always
Right, so
works really well.
it always
I
Well,
think
I
we should sneak. Shouldn't we try to find where that study is? Because that's where everything important was.
Yes. Also, I thought our plan was this. The Oracle basically said the only way we were going to get it was through combat. So I thought our plan was to sneak in, find her, beat the crap out of her, and then get the information without killing her.
Well, but we could try to do the diplomatic thing and assume that we'll get an audience and then kill her if things go poorly.
If I was a bunch of giants, if some little people came to my castle, I might tell them to give us their weapons. I'm just saying.
Unless you were a giant who was
right. That's a little
incredibly,
two ways, right? Because
confident.
giants, right? Why would you be worried about these little people who landed on your castle?
My bow isn't even magical. Come on.
I don't even need a weapon.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna put most of, especially the giant killer and the shield that glows when it sees giants in my bag of holding at the very least, and pop them out when necessary.
My only worry is that if we go to talk to her, she will be prepared and will have multiple hostiles in wait to attack us if things go bad.
That's what I'm worried about.
But we don't really have a sneaky type. Reed isn't even here.
That'd be
Rue is
true.
good at sneaking, and
Pretty good at
Bannerl
sneaking.
can turn into sneaky animals.
My stealth is +7.
Yeah, we need somebody basically to scout to tell us where the study is. If we can find out where the study is, maybe we can go straight there and then talk to her directly and not have to announce our presence to the rest of the giants.
What about
So it's
this?
a castle. The idea that we're going to be able to sneak in and then have a decent conversation with her is probably not reasonable. If
What
we
about
want to try to talk
sneaking
to
in?
her, we should probably approach them in some sort of official, hey, here we are, kind of a thing.
Don't
I'm
we
have
happy
the
to
Rod of
do
Vonnegut?
sneaking, but if I get caught, then it's certainly going to be full on everybody attack sort of a thing.
Well, what I was saying is what we could do is if Bannerl was just some type of innocuous animal which might be on a cloud giant's castle, like a spider, then even if someone sees him, does a cloud giant really care if there's a spider walking around in the castle?
No, it just kills it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was wondering, like, we have the Rod of Vonnegut. We could try to narrow down where that study is.
Well, the
By
only
trying to
thing
find
about
something.
is
Oh, sorry.
the obvious questions would be like, where's the nearest magical item? And, it'd point at your face or at itself.
Oh, I was gonna be like, where is the nearest like study desk, or like like basically something that you would find in a study.
Yeah, but that's a pretty big castle. I'm guessing there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
like that in there.
That's true.
But yeah, that's what I was going for too. If we wanted to have someone polymorph or someone shapeshift, wild shape, whatever you want to call it,